Reciting of Heart Sutra and its mantra is not going to help much without understanding its message and internalizing it. Let's understand the deeper meaning of the Heart Sutra line by line. And I promise it's not just another translation of text, but the real meaning which we can internalize. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, perceived that all 5 skandhas are empty and thereby attained deliverance from all suffering. In this first line, Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, is practicing the profound wisdom known as Prajnaparamita, which is the perfection of wisdom that transcends ordinary knowledge and leads to enlightenment. The 5 skandhas or aggregates that make up human existence, form, sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness, are realized to be empty, meaning they lack inherent, independent existence. This realization leads to liberation from all suffering. Let's explore each of the 5 aggregates. Form is empty of its own. When we are born, we have the form of a human, but if you go deep, that form is made from the food and other materials that your mother consumed. Even before the egg, it came from sperm, and even before that, it came from the relationship between 2 people, and it goes on like that. So, the human form, which we are, is empty on its own but exists because of dependent origination. Sensations are also empty on their own. For example, sensation originates because of some reason. You will experience pain if you poke a pin in your finger, but it only happened because you poked the pin. Otherwise, the sensation is empty on its own. Perception involves the recognition and interpretation of sensory information. It is empty because it is conditioned by our experiences and does not exist independently. For instance, if you see a shadow in a dark alley, you might perceive it as a threat based on past experiences, but the shadow itself is just an absence of light and does not inherently possess any threatening qualities. Mental formations are the thoughts, intentions, and emotions that shape our actions and reactions. They are empty because they arise from previous experiences and conditioning. For example, feeling anger when someone criticizes you is a mental formation influenced by past experiences of criticism. Without these past experiences, the anger would not arise independently. Consciousness is the awareness that arises from the interaction of the other 4 aggregates. It is empty because it depends on sensory input and mental formations. For example, your consciousness of tasting a delicious meal depends on your senses of taste and smell, as well as your mental formations of what you consider delicious. Without these conditions, the specific consciousness of enjoyment would not exist. By understanding the emptiness of the 5 aggregates, Avalokiteshvara realizes that suffering arises from clinging to these impermanent and interdependent aggregates as if they were independently existing. This deep insight leads to the liberation from all suffering, as it dissolves the illusion of a permanent self and the attachments that cause pain and dissatisfaction. O Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. In this line, the text teaches that form and emptiness are not separate. They are the same. Form, the physical aspect of existence, is inherently empty, and emptiness itself takes form. The same applies to the other 4 aggregates: feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Consider an ice sculpture. It has a definite form and can be admired for its beauty. However, when it melts, it becomes water, losing its distinct shape. The water can then evaporate and become invisible vapor. The form of the ice sculpture is temporary and empty of inherent existence, just like the forms we perceive in life. Its essence remains, but it takes different forms, illustrating the emptiness and interdependence of all phenomena. The ice sculpture's form is beautiful and meaningful, but its destruction reveals the underlying truth of emptiness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear nor disappear, are not tainted nor pure, do not increase nor decrease. In this state of emptiness, all phenomena or dharmas lack inherent, independent existence. They transcend dualities such as appearing or disappearing, being tainted or pure, increasing or decreasing. Think of a candle flame. The flame burns brightly, providing light and warmth, but it is constantly consuming the wax and wick, always in motion and changing. While the flame seems to have a continuous existence, it is dependent on the candle and air. The flame's existence is transient and empty of inherent, independent existence. This illustrates the Buddhist concept that all phenomena are impermanent and lack a fixed, unchanging essence, even the dharmas. Therefore, O Shariputra, in emptiness, there is neither form, nor feeling, nor perception, nor mental formation, nor consciousness. In the ultimate truth of emptiness, the five aggregates do not inherently exist. This can be likened to clouds we observe in the sky. They come in various shapes and sizes, constantly changing and moving. Despite their different forms, clouds are essentially water vapor and part of the sky. When they dissipate, the sky remains empty yet capable of forming new clouds. This cycle shows that forms are transient and empty of independent existence. No eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind. No form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch. No realm of the eye, and no realm of mind consciousness. In the state of emptiness, there are no sensory organs or sensory objects, emphasizing that all sensory experiences and consciousness are also empty. Consider the experience of dreaming. In a dream, you have sensory experiences, seeing, hearing, touching, etc., that feel real. However, upon waking, you realize that these experiences were merely projections of your mind. Dreams lack inherent, independent existence and show how sensory experiences are empty. There is no ignorance, and there is no ending of ignorance up to no aging and death, and no ending of aging and death. In emptiness, there is no fundamental ignorance, the root cause of suffering or its cessation. Similarly, aging and death, as well as their cessation, do not inherently exist. Consider the changing seasons. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter come and go in a continuous cycle. While we experience each season distinctly, they are all part of the same natural process. There is no inherent existence of one season over another. They depend on each other. This reflects how aging and death, as well as their cessation, are empty of inherent existence and part of a larger cycle. There is no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path. There is no cognition, no attainment, and no non-attainment. In emptiness, there is no wisdom to be attained or not attained. Think of a mirror reflecting various images. The images in the mirror symbolize different states of mind: suffering, joy, attainment, and non-attainment. The mirror itself, however, remains unchanged regardless of the images it reflects. Understanding this, one realizes that their true nature is like the mirror, beyond the changing reflections of experiences. Therefore, O Shariputra, since the Bodhisattvas have no attainment, they abide by means of prajnaparamita. Because there is nothing to be attained in the state of emptiness, Bodhisattvas rely on the wisdom of emptiness in their practice. Think of a volunteer who dedicates their time to helping others without expecting anything in return. Their satisfaction comes from the act of service and making a difference in people's lives. This selfless approach illustrates how Bodhisattvas abide by the wisdom of emptiness, focusing on compassionate action rather than personal gain. Since there is no hindrance of mind, there is no fear. They transcend falsity and attain complete nirvana. Without delusions or mental hindrance, there is no fear. By transcending deceptive appearances, one can attain complete nirvana, the ultimate state of liberation and enlightenment. Socrates, the classical Greek philosopher, faced his death with calm and clarity, refusing to renounce his pursuit of truth. His acceptance of his fate and commitment to his principles exemplify transcending fear and mental obscurations, embodying the wisdom and liberation of nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future, by means of Prajnaparamita, fully awakened to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment. All enlightened beings throughout time achieve enlightenment through the perfection of wisdom. Just as space explorers, like those involved in missions to Mars, push the boundaries of human understanding and knowledge through their deep exploration and research, Buddhas achieve enlightenment by exploring the profound wisdom of emptiness. Their breakthroughs are analogous to the enlightened realization that transcends conventional understanding. Therefore, the great mantra of Prajnaparamita, the mantra of great wisdom, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra that can calm all suffering if it's properly understood and its message is internalized, it should be known as truth, for there is no deception. This great mantra, associated with the perfection of wisdom, is a powerful truth that can alleviate suffering and is recognized as an ultimate truth without deception. Universal truths like the principles of gravity or mathematics apply universally and consistently, providing a reliable foundation. Similarly, the mantra of Prajnaparamita is a timeless and universal truth that can alleviate suffering if understood properly and internalized. Please note reciting of mantra even millions of times without understanding it and internalizing it will not be of much help. Let's understand the deeper meaning of the mantra. Gate, Gate Paragate, Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. This mantra is a call for action, urging us to strive for enlightenment by understanding the nature of reality. Similarly, how Buddhas achieved enlightenment by exploring the profound wisdom of emptiness, we can also achieve enlightenment by understanding the emptiness of this whole world and our attachments. Please note, emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. Everything in this world exists as a reality, but all things are empty in themselves. So, in the nutshell, this mantra is encouraging us to go beyond, go completely beyond a falsehood and become Bodhisvaha. It signifies the stages of progressing beyond ordinary understanding to complete enlightenment. Imagine a marathon runner who gradually surpasses their limits with each mile. They move from initial efforts through challenging moments to finally crossing the finish line, achieving a sense of accomplishment and enlightenment beyond the physical effort. Thank you for joining us on this journey of enlightenment. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Namo Buddhaya.